Hey everyone, it's Always Improving here, and today I'm going to be telling you how I find inspiration for my art and how I can help you find inspiration for your own art as well. The first thing I want to say is that inspiration is not necessarily needed for art. A lot of people base it completely off pictures, photorealism, and things like that. But for a lot of people, being creative is part of making your own ideas. And I do not think that every piece, even if you consider yourself a creative person, every piece you make should not be unreferenced. Let me rephrase that. Every piece that you make should not be completely from your imagination. And sometimes you just need to practice creating images that look realistic, and you should just copy directly from a photo. Now, you shouldn't use those photos for anything, obviously. They are for your own personal practice. They're not for commercial use or anything, but you definitely need to practice from photos. And for this reason, I really enjoy the app Pinterest. I know a lot of you use Pinterest, but I'm just going to go over a couple of things that I find really useful with this app. Now, after using Pinterest, I encourage you to then put your phone away, put the reference photos away, and free draw. This makes it so much easier for you to have something to go off of. You just worked through all these reference photos. You just looked at all these portraits. You have just copied down a real thing in life onto your page. Now, either based on that or completely from your imagination, take away the photo and just draw. This will allow you to enhance your creativity and try new things while still having some sort of basis. In this example, this is where I kind of got the idea for these elf characters that I'm going to be painting later in this piece, but you can also take inspiration in this stage from your favorite artists or from your favorite activities or from people that you really enjoy, like actresses or actors, without necessarily looking at a photo of them. Think of things you love, but don't necessarily pull up a picture every single time you need to do this. So here is my home feed on Pinterest. Now, this part of my feed has a bunch of different images because I've saved so many different things onto my account. And it is useful if I'm just wondering what to draw, but if I go down to my account, in the bottom right, and click on that, it brings me to my boards, and my boards are specialized and into like categories. So I can look for outfit inspiration or poses, or I can look for portraits with good lighting, and it's really nice because I don't have to go through my entire feed to find something specific that I'm looking for. And it just really helps me to narrow down my search. But if I go into a specific board and click more ideas up at the top, say if I've gone through all of the pictures on one board, I can find more specialized ideas here, and that really helps me to eliminate this sort of, if you go back to the front page, you see I have like nature photos, I have pictures of people, I have pictures of faces, I have a lot of different photos there, and so by going to more ideas, I can really specialize my search for exactly what I need for that art project. So now I'm going to paint this picture that I got from sketching, just some ideas that I had, and I'm going to tell you about specific techniques that I use to develop my ideas and to come up with new ideas. First of all, you can take those things that you learned from Pinterest or that you found in reference photos or that you just kind of like in general about the photos. Maybe it's a small little thing, like someone's hair color or their hairstyle, but you can take those elements and combine them into your own sort of imagination, an imagination of the concept. You can use that hairstyle on a different person. You can use that hair color or that eye color or that whatever it is in your own picture. That's one way you can kind of take the real world and morph it into something new and something that is your own. Another way to do that exact sort of thing is to go and people watch. This is a really fun way to see the diversity that is already out there in life and to really incorporate it into your artwork. You can see what sort of crazy outfits people walk in the cafe door with, or what sort of hairstyles people have gotten, or just their general like gesture. It's really another way to see movement and to see natural movement and incorporate that into your artwork as well. So that's two ways you can kind of take the real world and incorporate it into your art more. Another way to find inspiration is to find what you really love. For example, I pull a lot of inspiration from my bigger portraits from this artist that is here on YouTube, and she's also on Instagram at Arlabean. I love her exploration of color and how she uses color so specifically, and how she's a minimalistic style and setup. It's really nice to see, and I always feel inspired after watching her videos to try something like it myself. So I pull a lot of inspiration from her when I'm doing larger portraits. And you can pull inspiration from many different categories. You can pull them from artists, you can pull it from movies, you can pull it from TV shows or books, or like fan art. People always do stuff like that. Or you can always take pictures of people that you really think they have an interesting facial structure, or things like that. Just anything that inspires you, you want to be spontaneous and at least jot it down. You want to remember that it inspired you. You want to remember those things. So keep a notebook with you and write down ideas that you have whenever you have them. That really helps. And if you can, I would say just sketching it out immediately when you have that idea is the best way to keep track of it and make sure that you really have that inspiration be infused with your piece. You don't want to lose that inspiration over time. So if you can't immediately sketch it out, just jot it down in a notebook. It really helps you to remember these things, and you can go back to them when you're ready to create art. Another way that you can really change up your art style and try something new is to try to break your normal habit and your normal routine of creating art. Whether this means using a new material, going to a different location while you create, or just changing, even if it's something small about your art setup in your art studio or wherever you create art. It can really help to break that cycle of, okay, I'm here, I'm creating art, okay, I do this, and it's finished. You want to try a different approach. You want to try a different routine of creating, because whenever you're in the same place and using the same materials, your art can start to look the same, and it can start to have the same overall tone. And by changing just a small little thing like the location or your material, just by doing that, you're already one step closer to a new idea and a new something new in your art. And now that I'm wrapping up, I want to give you just a little bit more advice. And that is to not burn yourself out. If you feel uncreative right now and it's because you've been working really hard or you're a little stressed out, please don't push yourself too hard and keep trying to create more art. It would be better for you just to take a break and to enjoy some of your favorite movies, or maybe look at some of your favorite artists, or read a book. You don't necessarily need to always be pushing for new ideas to come. It's really nice to take breaks and to look back and reflect on your art rather than creating all the time. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you find it helpful for all of these tips. And if you did, please check out some of my other videos. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye!